Let's take a look at 425 Ashe Cabin Hollow Road, Harriman, Tennessee, Roane County. This picture is taken standing in part of the driveway looking towards the connecting road. Beautiful greenery all around. This was on the left-hand side of the driveway as I approached the house and the flagpole. It looks like there's a little deer trail coming out of the woods. This is standing in the driveway as we're approaching the house and approaching a row of bushes looking to the right. There's lots of flat space throughout this property, and this is some flat space that could be used for all kinds of things, but maybe to expand parking or just gardening, landscaping. You can see to the right is kind of the starting point of that row of bushes. You can see the flagpole, and you can see the front of the house. You can see the driveway extends past it. Keep in mind, this property is on 7.75 acres. I will probably show a diagram of that before we get to the end of this video. This is looking back down the driveway, and you can see again that row of bushes that's on the edge of the driveway there, just as a point of reference. That tree was just particularly pretty there in the yard. Again, looking up, there's just greenery all around. It's just really beautiful. Looking up at the new flag that was added to the flagpole. This property, historically, before the current owners purchased it, was owned by a retired veteran and his wife. This shows the front of the house. This is looking at the right side of the house. All new windows, new gutters, metal roof, new siding, new brick. This almost looked like a hint of a wet weather creek line off in the woods. It might not be, but I snapped a little picture of it just in case. Whoops. Let's continue from where we left off. Accidentally closed out of that there. This is from the woods looking up towards the house, and I really like this angle because it helps you see how big the house really is. From the front, from a distance, it doesn't look like the house is very big, but there's a lot of square footage here. And I love the brick. It's very pretty. The downstairs has windows. 2 windows that are on the side, and then there's more window potential on the back. We're going to get around to the back in a second. Now that garage door, I think, would be spectacular if you converted it into a very large set of sliding glass doors. You could turn the basement level into just one big awesome room down there if you wanted to. It's a really neat space. There's a lot of things you could do with the downstairs level. There's a brush pile there that's going to be burned and gone here soon. That's from where there was some mowing and bush hogging done recently, so that's going to be gone and taken care of soon. You can see that little staircase on the hill, and then off to the side there's a extra structure with some storage, which we'll get to here in a second. That the back deck there is stable. I walked on it. I've been all around the property and all throughout the property. Every window in this house, when you're inside the house and you look out the window, you just see beautiful greenery. This is looking at the right side of the backyard and just spanning that perimeter of the sections that's grassy and cleared. But again, this is 7.75 acres, and a lot of that acreage is wooded, and it's up in the woods. So this is really just showcasing the section that's cleared, which is really a very small portion of the property as a whole. There is electricity run to that supplemental structure over there on the side. There's also a light pole. That's a little bit closer image, but we're going to get closer to it here in a second. This property has a lot of flat cleared space, and the zoning office says you're allowed to have 2 houses per every acre, potentially, right? Everything's contingent upon things like, you know, getting a permit and getting a soil test and things of that nature, you know, septic permitting, etc. But the way this is zoned, the potential for that is allowed to be attempted. Additionally, you're allowed to have an RV there year-round that's lived in with proper permitting. Beautiful, beautiful varieties of trees. Very beautiful, peaceful yard. This is hiking almost all the way to the back of the cleared space, looking back towards the house. It kind of helps you get an idea for just how big the cleared space is, which is awesome. Again, just looking around the yard from different angles, standing in different spots. So much potential. There is so much that can be done with this property. The owner says you can hike up the mini mountain at the back of the property, and at the top there's some really spectacular views, just beautiful country kinds of views. So much hiking opportunity with this property. This is a picture of the well, and the well was actually attached to the house at one point in time. The house has public water. There's a old well pump and all kinds of stuff. So somebody could, you know, look into refurbishing that and getting it inspected and trying to get it running again. For a point of reference, you can see those cinder blocks. That's where the well is. And you see this little wooden angular thing here. That is where there used to be a swing set. So when you come up the driveway and you look to the left, that's past that extra storage, like shed looking structure. This wellhead and its cinder blocks and then that wooden structure are on the left after that. So it's very easy to find those two items. So again, just looking around the yard, standing in different spots. You can see here there is a yellow marker there. Again, turning that garage door into a giant set of sliding glass doors and finishing out the basement into just a big, sunny, beautiful room would be super cool in my opinion. Super cool. Or maybe like a room and a bathroom. This pole has power run to it for lighting. This is a picture of some of the lighting that's under that shed type structure, carport type structure. It's got power run to it. And these images are pictures of each of the sections. It's got 4 sections. The owner informed me that beneath this little fire pit area, I think is where the septic tank might be. So that's a good thing to know, how to locate it. This is the back porch. This is how you're going to access for showings. You're going to go up the steps through the back door there. This is the type of lock we're using for now, but the owner is considering installing a keypad electronic system where we can collect data here in the coming days ahead. Today is Sunday, July, I think it's like the 11th or the 12th. There's surveillance cameras all over the property. All over the property. So it's very secure. These can be monitored remotely. This is a new light that was installed. This is the thermostat. This is a new electrical box that was installed. There have been so many improvements done. This was some type of generator that the previous owners left behind. This is a hot tub, also left behind by the previous owners. That's downstairs. Here's a couple of propane tanks. This is the entrance to the crawl space, and I meant to open this up and photograph it while we were there, but we just got to talking about so many different aspects of the property and the history of the property. But this is how you access the crawl space, and the seller notated that the crawl space has been lined and improved, and I think they're have put in or are about to put in some extra lighting down there. So the crawl space has been made into something that's just very convenient for whoever needs to access it, which is wonderful. That's a little closer look at that garage door there. That again, I think would be spectacular if it was replaced with some large sliding glass doors. All that natural light would just pour in. You'd get to enjoy all the beauty of that gorgeous backyard and the tree line. This is part of a structure that was left behind by the prior owners that can be attached to the generator. This is taken standing under the back porch, looking towards the backyard of the cleared space of the backyard. This is a dehumidifier that's in the basement. This is a specialty fan that detects temperature and then turns on automatically, that can go into an attic. This is the hot water heater on the left, and then on the right, that is a device next to a pump system that used to be attached to the well. So potentially someone could hire a well professional to come in and look at that system and explore reconnecting it. And that way you not only have the public water, but you also have the well water. This is taking a picture. So the basement level, I'm obsessed with the basement level of this house. There's two windows already down there. They're both on the same wall, but this is looking out one of those windows, and you just see beautiful greenery. These are some of the vents that have not been covered yet. So the main level of the house and the bottom level of the house have two separate HVAC systems. And the main level, if I remember correctly, it's only 1 year old, that system. They installed a whole new HVAC ventilation, which is in the ceiling. So the air blows down from the ceiling. It feels spectacular in there, by the way. Some of those have not had the covers put on yet, but it's fully functional. And these are some of the covers. All the building materials that are there that have not yet been assembled convey with the property, of course. This is the front door. It's brand new. This is some more surveillance. There's little cameras all over the property. I mean, all over the property. Here's one of the stickers on one of the new windows. I guess all the windows are new. This is standing in the open kitchen, living room, dining space. You can see those double doors there with the kind of teal color. Those open up onto the back deck. There's a lot of space here with a lot of potential. And I'll tell you, the gentleman that owned this house is moving because his job is having him relocate. And he has put so much hard work and attention to detail in this renovation. This is looking down into another part of the home. There's some materials there stacked on the left. There's another section. There's another room, and you can see out that window, just beautiful greenery. You can see out of those double doors, the back deck and the greenery in the backyard. This is looking out of the living room window. And I think there's another one I have where we moved that, where the seller moved that piece for me to get a better picture of that window there. You can see the lighting in the ceiling's been done really nicely. There's the kitchen area. There we go. There, now that that piece of material has been moved, you can see out the window. It's a nice big living room window. This is in the corner by the kitchen area. It would be ideal for a pantry space or just a closet of some sort. This is one of the bathrooms. Here's a close-up of one of the Energy Star stickers. Another room. Again, beautiful views out of all the windows. Again, that burn pile is going to be burned and gone soon. That's just left over from bush hogging that was done in the past couple of days. Beautiful views. Private setting. Closet space. Bedroom. Beautiful views. These are solid doors, solid hardwood doors, not hollow. They are solid through and through. This is another angle of the basement. There's a lot of cleanup that we're going to be doing in the coming days and weeks ahead. A whole lot. So as that happens, there'll be new videos, new pictures, updating, showing those improvements. This is looking on the basement level. You can see those two windows that are already there. There's something kind of blocking that window that's kind of leaned up in the window there, but those windows are in perfect condition. And there's that garage door that I'm obsessed with and want to turn into a sliding glass window door. But you can just see this massive space has so much potential to just turn it into something luxurious. I think it would be cool to make it the master bedroom. That's what I would do. Maybe put a bathroom on the side where the hot tub's at. Just carve out a bathroom over there, or maybe just have the hot tub in the bedroom. This is a door at the basement, which is situated to the left of the garage door. There's the garage door isolated in an image. There's some little cabinets that were there from a long time ago. And a moment ago I said these windows on the downstairs are in perfect condition, but I really can't speak to the condition of the windows. I've not inspected them. I don't really know. But what would be a better thing to say is they appear to be intact. You know, there no problems with them were reported. They're not broken. The glass is not broken. So they might not be perfect, but they appear to be intact. This is a picture of the steps. This is a picture looking out the window in the living room to the front porch towards the road and the driveway. This is a picture standing at the kitchen sink, looking out the window, looking through the back porch towards the backyard, which is very private. The old appliances are still there. Okay, so let's take a look at the other photos that are already in the listing. This is going to be added to here soon, but you can see that this is the shape of the lot, 7.75 acres. So the driveway and the house are in that arm that reaches out and grabs onto the road, and then that big chunk of acreage, you realize just how much land you really have. So that cleared space is like just a small fraction of the land that you have. The woods go back and back and back and back. A lot of land there. Okay? You can see with that yellow pin how close you are to the waterway, and in the image to the bottom right, you can see there's many marinas and water access points and waterfront parks. This is a great picture from the winter when there was a snow. It's very beautiful. You can see how the trees thin out in the winter time, and you can see how the land lays up in the trees there. And looking to the right there, that's where a lot of your acreage branches off at. There's another diagram there of the land. I mean, there is just so much land, wooded land, that branches off at the back of the property. There's a lot of potential there. This shows the topography. Those gray lines show how the land rises up, kind of makes a little mini mountain in the backyard. Really, the section that's cleared is maybe 1/4 of the property. Roughly, I would guess. This shows where there's a creek line along the front of the road there. Starlink is available with very high speeds. There's also other options. T-Mobile, very high speeds. The seller, if I remember correctly, has reported using both. This is on the road, and you can see that the driveway goes off to the right. There's the driveway heading up to the house. This shows the proximity to Roane County Park and Fort Southwest Historic Park, as well as Kingston City Park, which is also nearby. It's also very close to Roane County Hospital, Covenant Health, Kroger's, Lowe's, and much, much more. It's very close to Kingston City Park on the water, where there's lots of fishing tournaments. It's close to, this is another diagram of the Roane County Park. It's a massive park on the water. There's Caney Creek Marina and boat rental nearby. Also off to the left in this image is Caney Creek RV Resort. It's also close to the new large workout anytime facility, which has 24-hour access, massage chairs, sauna, tanning beds, yoga rooms, and more. It's close to the Roane State Community College campus and library, as well as the new TCAT campus. It's close to Tom Fuller Memorial Park on the water and the new Rockwood Marina, as well as many other marinas in the region. This diagram shows many different wildlife management areas that are there for public enjoyment. And this shows lots of TVA waterfront land that is there for public enjoyment. And this is just a reminder telling you that we have videos of the interior, because right now there were just 27 images at this point in time. So again, it's early in July. It's Sunday, and today is the 12th, Sunday the 12th of July. If you have any questions about obtaining financing, there are many different types of loan products that could accommodate many different scenarios with this property. This is my website, TennesseeLandAndHomeStore.com. This is my contact information. Feel free to reach out if you would like to ask questions, strategize, learn more. I'm here to help. I'm happy to help. So that phone number is 865-617-4783, 865-617-4783.